We cutting loose.
All right, everybody, it's time for a new episode of DWMOD. Yes, you can see the backdrop is different. We're doing some work on the studio, so we're at HQ today. We're out at Cutting Loose Studios. We're sitting on the set here where they film the rest of the podcast for the crew here. We're going to use this space. We're going to get to it. We got comedian Gabe McAteer back on the show. You know, he's in the Big Six Picks playoff pick'em. We got the College Football Championship coming up this weekend. We got coaching carousel going on, college players declaring this, that, the other, man. Hey, Louie, let's get to it, man. Let's give him a little run through of what it's like over here, buddy.
Touchdown!
College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down! Put!
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready?
Oh, Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Yes, Andy, that's how it works, buddy. What's going on out there in L.A.? What's the weather like, buddy?
You know, it's nice. It's a little warm here. It's like it's going to be like 77 today. It's nice. You know, we had rain the last couple of weeks, and now we're back, baby.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you who else is back, baby. Gabe McAteer is back, baby. What's up, Gabe?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good, man. Well, not so good. We're freezing here in Atlanta right now, huh? Like 32 degrees. Fucking cold, man.
Is that as cold as it gets in Atlanta? About 32, 30 in the winter?
Last year it got down in the teens for a good couple of weeks, man. Like my lake froze and shit, man.
Wow.
Yeah. It snowed twice last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it did. Yep. It did.
Okay.
Like this morning when I went out to I got over here to the office about like 7 a.m. It was like 17 degrees outside.
Mm.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked it gets that cold.
Yeah, pretty cool. I think I probably brought it in with all my picks from last weekend and wild card weekend.
Me too. Me too.
Ice cold, baby.
Ice cold. Ice cold.
Terrible. But Gabe and Anthony roaring to the front of the pack. Now, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in the Big Six Picks. We're going to let everybody put their peacock feathers out, do a lot of gloating and all that good stuff there. But listen, guys, a lot of coaches available in the NFL, and I want to get to that. But I was just recently this last couple of days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was in Charlotte for the National Coaches Convention, Football Coaches Convention. A lot of good speakers, great speaker, like great. That thing's fucking awesome, man. You go in there. I usually go out there with Coach Granger, who's a friend of the show and on the show from Battle Creek, and I hang out with him and his staff. And there's just meeting rooms everywhere where you can jump in and like, hey, this room over here is working on, packages for trips, wide receivers. This group over here is working on defensive end schemes. You can go in all these rooms and there's all these college coaches and high school guys that are like top of the game that are showing. If you're a football nerd, it's fucking awesome, man. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So I did see something while I was there that I want to get to when we get to quick hits. But before we get to quick hits, you guys know the drill. We got to get to Gordon Butterfield. You saw the package on the new little intro there. We got the true laundry detergent in the house here. And Gordon Butterfield is on the call for What Just Happened.
What just happened?
What Just Happened is brought to you by True Laundry Detergent. It's a locally owned company, and these fellas live in the neighborhood. They're saving you money. There's 101 loads in one bag. They got laundry detergent and fabric softener. They've even got dry sheets for you. Got sensitive skin, they've got the free and clear. No fragrances, no dyes, no additives. Or if you don't like liquids, they've even got the detergent sheets. Just drop one in every load. There's 60 loads in that box. Just head on over to thetrueproducts.com for all your laundry needs. And don't forget to use your code CUTTINGLOOSE1 to get you 10% off your first order. That's True Laundry Detergent. It's Gordon approved. Young Cody Pembroke feeling rizzy and drippy in that Toyota Prius.
Ho-ho, Snake Eyes! Caught him slipping and he lost it all.
Oh my, let's see where Window Jack got the jump on Froggy Fresh. It looks like Cody's got some time to kill while he waits on those waves to come in. So he's counting up a boatload of cash. Looks like about $31 bills. Oh, that won't last you 20 minutes in the club, young man.
I can see you've got a triple X watch, but you sure don't know what time it is. But at least he's being safe. That seatbelt kept him right in place. Oh, what just happened?
You know, Andy, I think I just noticed watching that for the 5th time now. Across his back as he's stuck in that seatbelt like a dumbass.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got one of those weird fucking tattoos everybody gets where you have like the bird wings across your back and down your arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those like sometimes has a name in there, like maybe someone who passed.
It's something, or
The kid that he doesn't have custody of. Something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
yeah, that he never sees, and he's got his name, but the guy's name. I don't know. Like, it's terrible. That's one of my pet peeves is like when people have like the wings on their chest, like some of these fighters have wings across their pecs, and then like across your back. Like, what is that, man?
I don't know. I always think about like how much pain was it? But I'm always curious, like how much money was it? Like, what does wings cost? Are we talking like $1,000, $2,000?
1,500 for something like that for a cheap dude.
Okay.
Like at a party at a college where somebody's doing it in the 3rd bathroom while people are using the bathroom. You know what I mean?
I do not want a tattoo there.
No. Either one of you guys got some tattoos?
No,
not for me yet. Waiting for the Lions to win that Super Bowl, man.
Oh, that's a guarantee. Get a Lions Super Bowl champion tattoo.
Yeah, right now there's like, I was scared a couple of years ago, but now I'm like, maybe there's no fear again. Maybe no fear again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Let's get to that. Let's get to talking to some coaches. Let's go. Louis reminded me. Now, you guys, I have to ask you about this. I took some pictures while I was driving home from Charlotte. I'm driving up the street and I see this sign. Look at this here, right? There's a little Taco Bell sign. You can see the neighborhood there. And then I see this sign. Look at that old Foot Locker sign.
Beautiful.
This is going to blow your mind, I hope, because it blew my mind. Here it is. An old standalone Foot Locker, and it was open.
Wow.
You guys remember that? Like, that's where you used to have to go to get your Jordans or Air Force Ones, and you stood in line and like, it wasn't really, they were at the malls and stuff, but if you wanted to get the drop, you had to go to the Foot Locker store. That may be the last one in the country. Have you seen one of these, Gabe, out on the road?
I was going to ask, were you driving a DeLorean? Because the only way you'd see that is if it was 1997.
It was crazy. I slowed the car down. I was like, that's a Foot Locker, dude. It was open.
Did you go in?
No, I didn't circle back. I was on my way home, but I was like, it was crazy. Like, it's out of business now. You just order them online and shit. But like, you used to have to show up and get in line for that shit. And that's where you had to go to like one of those ones if you wanted a good drop. Crazy. And Charlotte, I wouldn't have expected it, man. It kind of blew my mind.
Definitely a money laundering scheme for the banks in Charlotte. Absolutely.
Oh, probably. All right, coaches all over the board here, guys. Let's jump into it really quickly. We found out this morning, Harbaugh, 5-year deal with the Giants. I don't know if this is news to either one of you guys. I'm sure it's not. We all have cell phones. What do you think? Good fit there, Gabe, or what?
Actually, it is a shock to me. Last I heard was last night. It was Atlanta was looking at him, and that the attractive deal about Atlanta was going to be that, a lot of young guys on offense and pretty dynamic players that he could come in and just take charge. But this is breaking news to me. So on its, face value, good fit as well, though, because you've got Jackson Dart and you've got Cam Scadaboo. And Tyrone Tracy Jr. Got to include the Boilermaker. So pretty good fit, I think.
Yeah. Andy, you like this one for him or what?
Harbaugh's awesome. Like also they have a top 5 pick, I think. Is it 5 maybe?
I think so.
So I think it's a great deal. Also I don't think Harbaugh's going to be there for 15 years. He's 63, 64. So 5-10 years max, and then he gets out. And the NFC East is always, it's hard back to back it. So the Giants too were pretty good. Defensively, they're good. So it's got all the makings for Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think it is kind of a Harbaugh fit. I think you're right. Like the Ravens type of thing, man. Like that defense is good up there. They got a good defensive line. They're playing tough defense. He can come in and still a little bit more of that. And then offensively, he's got a quarterback that kind of fits the system. He kind of like to run with Lamar there. I mean, Jackson Dart's no Lamar Jackson. Don't even jump on me at social media. I'm just saying he's a guy that likes to run around and create stuff. And Scattaboo on the offense, tough mutter. It just kind of fits him. That's a perfect fit, man.
Yeah, it's good. Atlanta, I thought would have been a good, interesting fit for him as well, because I would like to see what he could do with all the weapons the Falcons have, but I'm more interested in the Giants for him.
Yeah. Let's talk about Atlanta really quickly. They've interviewed a lot of people. Gabe, you're listening to Sports Talk down here in Atlanta. What do you think the temperature there is now that Harbaugh's out? Like, who do you see sliding into that possibly? I mean, there's all these names we got: Vance, Flores, Stefanski, Minter, Saleh, apparently maybe McDaniel, Nagy. I mean, Kubiak. What do you? I don't know. A lot of weapons here in Atlanta. A lot of weapons.
It's an attractive job. It should be, at least. But as far as who fits the city or the culture of the team, I don't know. I don't think Mike McDaniel should be a head coach right now. I think maybe he might need to go revisit being a coordinator for a second. I see that more being realistic. Brian Flores, though, kind of having those pieces on offense, but having a defensive-minded coach, it's not a bad way to go about it, because he can at least sure things up on the defensive side of the ball and let the offense do its thing. So I like that idea.
Andy and I were just talking last week. I was pitching to him, and Andy kind of before we saw it anywhere on the news and stuff too. And I had talked to another buddy of mine about it. McDaniel going to the Lions. And then the day after we recorded, boom, 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 he's over there for an interview. I love McDaniels as the offensive coordinator for the Lions. I think that's a great fucking fit for him. I do see Atlanta being another great fit for him, though. So who's going to pony up? I see McDaniel will be the OC of either the Falcons or the Lions, I think. Andy, what do you think?
I'm going to throw Kansas City out there for McDaniels, because I think Nagy's going to get the Titans job. So, which would be great for Chiefs fans. Good luck, Nagy. Get out of here. I think Nagy's kind of killed the Chiefs offense a little bit. So I think when he goes, I think that job becomes – when the offensive coordinator job for the Chiefs opens up, I think it's going to be an attractive job to somebody like Mike McDaniel.
You think Mike McDaniel's a guy that's going to be all right with not calling plays, though?
Yeah. Because I think he'll work for Reed. I think I think he'd be okay. He could possibly, Andy Reid's not going to coach forever, right? He's going to coach for maybe another year or two. And then you could have your choice of Spags or McDaniel or whoever the OC is, whatever. Anyway, I think the Falcons should hire Stefanski. I think it's Stefanski's 2-time coach of the year. I think he's won it twice. He'll get out of the AFC, which I'm sure he wants to. I would just like to see what Stefanski does. I also think this is kind of one of the worst years for head coaching prospects. You look at the names that are on all these teams lists that we all look at. Is there anybody you're like, that's awesome? Outside of Harbaugh, Tomlin, who's doesn't seem like he's going to coach this year.
No,
is there anybody that's you find there's no Ben Johnson, no Liam Cohen,
No, it's all defensive guys, but this league's a copycat league, and that's the way it's going. And all these defensive guys are having more success right now at the head coaching positions, and so now everything's kind of switching to defense. The defense is dominating right now. I like what you said a little bit, Gabe. Flores, I like Flores to the Falcons. If he can get McDaniel to come in, for the Falcons, I think that's a home run. Flores as the head coach, all defense. That young defense finished the season really, really well. And McDaniel to come in and work with Penix. And if you can't get that, I think for the Falcons, it's Kubiak. Go get a guy to work with Penix.
When it comes to McDaniels, Chiefs and Falcons make sense, because I think actually to Andy's point, Chiefs might make more sense, because McDaniel's offense has a lot of window dressing, a lot of motions, and that would kind of benefit Kansas City, because they like to do a lot of smoke and mirrors as well. A lot of people figured that out, but with Andy Reid and Mike McDaniels, that creativity in creating plays and having that talented of an offense, it could be pretty beneficial.
Really beneficial.
Yeah. He'd also be good in the line. He'd be good on those teams with some offense, right? That's what makes him so attractive.
He's got to go to a spot with a lot of weapons available.
Yeah.
If he hits the Lions, like we were talking about, man, Gibbs becomes his Achane. The way he gets Achane in space a lot, Gibbs becomes his Achane, and J-Mo is the speed demon of the NFC. The dude just is. He's your Hill. It kind of just fits him, but we need some interior line help. That's neither here nor there. Now, here's some jobs nobody wants, guys. I'm sure you agree. Raiders, I don't want to take that job. Titans, maybe Titans I'd be interested in, but Cardinals, no, thank you.
Worst organization in football for most former players.
Oh, and you're walking into a quarterback nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
Are we keeping Kyler Murray? Are we not? He fleeced us. We owe him money. Are we blowing him out the door? And then if so, we got to draft a quarterback. No thanks. Andy, you taking that job?
Well, there's only 32 of them, right? Obviously. So, yes, I am taking that job. This is where I think somebody like Flores goes. I don't think the Falcons, for example, are going to do Flores because they just basically did Flores with Raheem Morris, like defensive guy from a pretty good team. Like, well, I guess I'd be like, why did you fire a guy? The Falcons actually played pretty well down the stretch.
Yeah.
You know, like Raheem. Clearly, the Falcons had decided to fire Raheem like in week 12, and then they just stuck to it because the Falcons won like 4 or 5 games in the row. Like, they weren't horrible down the stretch. This is why I think Flores, if he's going to go somewhere, I think it's going to be to one of these kind of bad teams, like
Raiders.
Put Flores in the Browns. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's the Browns. Like, that's what they're made of right now. You know.
Yeah, that Browns job's wide open. I like a defensive guy there too because that defense is killer. Like, I think if you put Saleh, gave him another chance in Cleveland and let him have that defense, and he brings in a good offensive coordinator, I think that's a great fit for him to get another shot. I don't know. I mean,
I think you're going to get basically like these guys are going to fill those jobs, like Flores, Kubiak, Joe Brady. You know, guys that are currently Vance Joseph, the Broncos defensive coordinator. Those are guys that are going to just scatter them on these teams because that's maybe Mike McCarthy sneaks in. Like, maybe. Yeah, like those are the guys who are going to get these jobs. Like, just pick which spot you think.
Let me throw you some fun ones. And then we'll call it the first one I'm going to throw at you. Well, it's like that one buddy you got that divorced his wife and then just married her again. Like, you ever seen that before? Let's Flores to the Dolphins, baby. Let all the lawsuits and all that. Let's get Flores back with the Dolphins. Maybe they figure that thing out, man. I don't know.
I remember it going pretty well when they divorced the Dolphins and Flores.
Yeah. There was some lawyer fighting back and forth, and he didn't walk away with as much of the house as he felt he should have got. So maybe they just get remarried and he gets the deed signed over to him. All right, maybe they go that route. What about now this one is more so used to date all your friends and now going to bang them. Like Stefanski, let's give Stefanski the Ravens job or the Steelers job. You know what I mean? Like, hey, he knows this group of ladies. Yeah. He knows how to bang them. He knows who needs 5 tequilas to get in bed. He knows who needs just a good ear to get it. You know what I mean? He's familiar with this group of broads over here. Maybe those 2 jobs for Stefanski. But joking aside, I don't hate that idea if I'm the owner of those teams. Like, this guy knows this conference and has been 2-time coach of the year in this conference. If I'm the Ravens, I really take a good look at Stefanski.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Ravens generally seek a person they think can be there for like 15, 20 Steelers-esque. Like, do they really want to be married to Stefanski for 15 or 20 years?
I think he's a good coach.
Sure, but like, yeah, I don't know.
That Watson thing doesn't happen, and I'm telling you, he's one of the top 5 coaches in the league right now. Everybody would love to have. I just really believe that.
Good coach. I think Stefanski should go to Atlanta and like. Just it's a different setup for him. Like,
it could work. It could work.
The South is open.
It's wide open. It's wide open. Any darts you want to throw, Gabe? Any of these other guys? Nagy, Kubiak. I said Falcons already. I think Falcons for Coobs. I don't know.
Here's what's unattractive about the Steelers and the Ravens is the line. It mostly applies to quarterbacks, but I also think it applies to coaches too, is you don't want to be the guy that follows the guy, meaning you don't want to be the quarterback following Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
Sure.
Unless you're Andrew Luck. But you want to be the guy that follows the guy who followed the guy. So I don't even know who's the Ravens are even considering. I don't know who's on their radar. ESPN doesn't even seem to think that they have a good shot. I mean, for Pittsburgh, what I've heard, and I think it's it was Mike Wilbon who was talking about it on PTI, is Kurt Cignetti. Did they go make him an offer because he's from that area?
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving college football.
I don't think so either.
He's too old. I think Mentor, the Chargers, defensive coach. I think is like the popular Ravens guy. Overall.
Yeah, that's a good fit too. He's a good defensive coach.
Like that guy's, I think, pretty popular overall. Also Saleh. I think Saleh is going to get a job.
Saleh maybe too. I'd be very careful though. If I was any one of these guys, I'd be very careful taking a Pittsburgh job for everything that Gabe just said. And if Tomlin wants to come back next year, he's still under contract. You're out, bro. He could wake up next year and go, "Yeah, I want back in," and they're going to go, "You're gone."
I don't see Tomlin doing that. I don't see him taking a year off and coming back.
I don't know.
think
he's like Cower. He like retires and then he like gets on TV and he's like, "This is a pretty good gig."
Pretty good gig.
Yeah. Or I mean, well, it's off the table now because Penn State was available and everybody thought Tomlin was going to potentially take that, and that didn't happen. But do you go down to college? I don't know. I feel like Mike Tomlin would have enough patience to coach kids in college, but I think that's its own bag of tricks right now. I think the last time he was in, coaching in college or even playing, the game was completely different with NIL. Right now, at least it is now. So it's a different landscape. I have no idea what Tomlin's future holds, but I wish him the best.
Yeah,
I give you two Tomlin teams. Two teams I think he's going to coach, possibly. They're both two teams here. One, and I've been calling for this for about a year, and I said in a year or 2 years. One is the Detroit Lions. I don't believe Dan Campbell's going to survive. And like I think I asked Mikey privately, like in 2028, is Dan Campbell the coach of the Lions?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. The other is the Chiefs. I think there's a possibility that Andy Reid retires in the next year or two. Tomlin, I think, would jump at the chance to play with Mahomes. I think those two teams are like teams that are
placekeeper teams where it's like we are the pride of the league right now. We're not looking to rebuild and take a step back. We need somebody to come in and know how to do it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think those teams, like I'm trying to think of other teams that I think are really good right now, like the Ravens that lost Harbaugh, that maybe Tomlin could step into next year or the year after that. I keep just coming back to the Chiefs and the Lions. Who's
going to blow some draft picks to go out there and trade for the rights to Mike Tomlin? Easy answer. Everybody on three. 1, 2, 3. Raiders. 1, 2, 3. Raiders. That's what's going to happen. All right, hey, let's get into a little bit of no way here. Dante Moore announces this week coming back to Oregon, coming back for another year. Going to take some time off, and everybody's on this kid's ass about this because they're like, that's that NFL money, and this is a bad quarterback year. You're going to get drafted high this year, opposed to next year where maybe you won't. There's more guys coming out. Bad quarterback draft year. He needs to be coming out. And listen, I got to tell you,
no way. There's no way. No way.
He's going to get a nice chunk of change to come back and play at Oregon another year. He's smart to do it. He's going to get better. He's not ready. Take that rookie money right now and go play for the Raiders. You'll be out of football in 3 years. I think this is a brilliant move.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go to the Jets, and I think he was like, no way, no way I can go to the Jets. So I smart kid. Oregon's awesome. They'll be in the college football playoff. They also have that Nebraska quarterback Raiola as the backup. So it's well, why not? Why not go and have? He's probably making $4 million to come back to Oregon.
Probably easily. Yeah, easily. He's playing chess here. Now, Gabe, disagree with me or don't when I say he's playing chess for some of the reasons Andy just said, because he's like, look, I need another year to get better anyway. I'm getting paid anyway. But here's the bigger one. All the bad teams that are picking at the top of the draft this year are all going to take quarterbacks. So next year, the shitty teams won't be looking to take one. I'll probably get somewhere in the middle of the first round on a competitive team that's pretty good. This is just a no-brainer, right?
100%. This is the smartest decision I think I've seen from a college athlete in recent memory. I mean, and think about going into the draft, the conversation would have been like, well, look at his performance against Indiana in that CFP game where he was terrible.
He was bad.
I mean, let's call it what it is. He was awful that game. Go back to school one more year. And hell, do you think about transfer? I mean, Dylan Raiola is coming in. I mean, it's interesting that you just took your team to the CFP and now you're going to have to stay and compete for your job because Dylan Raiola is going to be, gunning for it. Yeah. So maybe considering transferring, or stay at Oregon, get better, develop, and enter next year's draft with a better team kind of picking in the middle. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Yeah, sure. I think Raiola is going to be Dante Moore next year. Going to come in to Oregon and sit the bench behind a starter who's going to take them on a playoff run and learn and then come in the next year, right? Because that's what Moore did this year, right? Sat behind Gabriel last year, knew he was going to transfer in to do it. I'm pulling for the kid. He's a Detroit kid. He's from Detroit King High School. Him and Trinidad Chambliss, also a Michigan kid. I feel a little bad for Trinidad because it looks like the NCAA is not going to award him that extra year that everyone else seems to be handed like it's Halloween candy. They're not going to give it to him. He may be forced to go into the draft this year when he's not quite ready, and he's going to have to play for the fucking Jets.
I don't think the Jets are going to take him at 2. I think they may take him in the 3rd round, possibly, but not at 2.
Yeah. Well, he may go in the 1st round with the way this draft class is. End of the 1st round, top of the 2nd. I mean, there's really only a couple quarterbacks here in this draft.
Well, I would like to see what the amount of money, assuming kind of what Gabe's saying is right, which I think he's right, which is like, say he gets picked by, the Jags at like 22 in 2 years, for example, like how much money it costs him. Because I assume like Arch will come out. I assume there'll be a couple other quarterbacks that we don't know about that'll be good or just as good. And then,
sure.
He might be a Colt at this
right.
rate. If he might, hopefully everything goes well with Daniel Jones and is, recovering from an Achilles. But assuming that heals properly, I think Daniel Jones is diligent enough to do that. I think he's going to play next year. Why not? And then with how cerebral Daniel Jones is, getting him behind Daniel Jones to just back up and learn and compete against Riley Leonard for a starting spot, backup spot.
Like it.
That's not a bad gig.
Yeah, I like it. So Richardson's out for you, huh?
Here's the thing. How much time do we have? The whole Richardson thing, damn it, I wanted it to work out. I really did. Because how can you not? He's a nice guy. He's a freak athlete, but just so much just went wrong here.
Yeah.
And I don't know his future as a Colt. I thought it was, we were all, really hoping as Colts fans to have him step in, at least try to come back sooner from this orbital bone fracture when Daniel Jones went out and he still wasn't healthy enough. And then that accelerated the slide into how
I think he's mentally toast,
which is terrible. I mean, I think he'll be kind of like, he'll just be a backup. He might go to the Rams and just, sit for behind Stafford another year until, they maybe figure out some packages and some things that he can do. But I hope Anthony Richardson, I wish the best for him. I want him to come in and compete, but I just don't see this going. It's hard to be optimistic about this, frankly.
No, it is. And I'm never rooting against kids. I'm not going to be one of those guys. I hope he does turn around. I hope he can figure it out, man. But when is the NFL going to stop this shit, Andy? When are they going to stop looking at his athleticism jumps off the page and he's got a cannon for an arm and the upside, the potential. And I'm like, they've been talking about it. Like for Richardson, for instance, they were talking like that from the time he was in 7th grade, man. And he was just a better athlete than everybody. And in high school, just a better athlete than everybody. And then in college, when does the potential come through? I mean, he started 1 year, one more game than he lost, I think. And when he was making plays out there, it's because he's the best athlete on the field. I think they have to quit mixing up like the potential to develop as a quarterback with watching him out athlete a couple people on a play or two.
Yeah, but that's never going to happen because guys like Lamar hits,
not interesting.
Like Drake May hits. Drake May, great athlete.
But even Lamar though, Andy, right? Heisman Trophy winner, could throw the football. You didn't see any of that from Richardson. It was combine shit.
Yeah. Cam Newton, he's just too big, man. The it's a big man's game, and that dude can run. Look, he gets with the right team and the right coach. When he's a rookie, and maybe it's different. And I like the Colts coach too. I'm not sure what else that dude can do to help Richardson, but
I'm glad the Colts are not in this looking for a head coach right now this year, because I like Shane Steichen. I think Shane and Chris Ballard are just the two most snake bitten people right this second.
Yeah.
People can't, our players just cannot stay healthy, and that is happening absolutely at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You look at Chris Ballard's larger body of work and how he drafts, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It seems like for some reason he can't get the first round draft pick correct, but everything on the back end is outstanding.
I just read a story on ESPN that those guys right now are fishing with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and trying to figure it out together.
No way. There's no way. No way.
Same thing for the Lions, man. Just can't stay healthy. Those guys have been doing a good job. I don't know. Now, Andy, I've got one for you, and you are going to this is for my man, Jermaine Morris, quarterback coach at Battle Creek Central High School. We're all hanging out at the coach's clinic this weekend. We're sitting down getting ready to bet some games, for Wild Card Weekend. Listen, he goes, I'm going to play this bet. And Andy, you're going to be really, really mad at me because this goes against everything we do on our right bet, everything you and I preach. And they're sitting around, and he says, I think I'm going to put $10 on Houston to score 2 defensive touchdowns tonight.
Oh.
2 defensive touchdowns, because 2 defensive touchdowns pays $1,500 on $10. Look, there's the ticket there now. Now this is a different ticket. A guy bet 150, but you can see the odds in the top right corner. Plus 1250. So he goes, I think I'm going to put $10 on this, to hit for $1,500. And a couple of guys are like, that's a waste of money. And uncharacteristic to you and I, who would be like, fuck yeah, it's $10, do it. I go, nah, man, that ain't gonna happen. You're flushing that down the toilet. I told him no. He didn't bet it. He didn't bet it. And now he's after me for $400 because there's a couple of us all said no. He says he thinks all of us should give him $400. I don't know. What do you think? Should I pay him?
Maybe you just buy him a $10 slip on next week's game. Just pick a random one and be like, "This is my payment back to you on the house, $10.
Yeah.
Here's a $10."
I did send him a text. I said, "Now listen, remember we talked through that prop bet you wanted to do on Gainwell. You wanted to take him for 6 catches, or you wanted to take him for 36 yards or something like that." I said, "Now listen, man." Get the lower number on the yards because you're going to get about 5 or 6 yards. He's not going to get to the 6 catches. Take the 24.5 over on the receiving yards and don't bet on the 6 catches. And he came in 4 catches for 28 yards or something like that. So I said, knock $10 off my bill there, buddy.
Yeah.
Mikey, you give that guy $400. I'm coming to your house because you still owe me dinner and drinks for having watched your dogs that one weekend.
That's true. That's true.
We're getting $400.
Hey, we have not hooked up though. Let everybody know it's not like I'm some chincer. We just have not hooked up because football season, buddy.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was on the road every weekend, but I'm good for it. I'm good for it, and a nice meal too. So this is what we're going to do for Jermaine. I told him, give me your best long shot prop bet for this weekend, and we're going to post it. And if any of these comes through, we're going to have some prizes for you from the show. So this is what he sent me, guys. What do you think about this one? Juszczyk for 2 TDs plus 10,000. 2 TDs for Juszczyk this weekend plus 10,000. What do you think?
No.
Yeah, Andy says no. No way. What do you think, Gabe?
You know what? I played fullback in high school. Do it because they're gonna have to use every weapon available to be able to beat Seattle. Why not? I see him running one in and catching one in the reds, like a short, like kind of like he's in the backfield, runs out to the flat, catches one, gets upfield.
I will say this kind of pooches a little bit of my pick on the over under, but do you want to guess how many points the Niners have scored against the Seahawks in 2 games?
I don't even think 20, is it?
20. Like it's not going to happen. There's no way you can put. I would tell Jermaine right now, no.
All right, Jermaine, that's what Andy says.
No way. There's no way. No way.
So that means 1 no and 1 yes. And Jermaine, I'm looking right at you, buddy. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you no 2 times in a row, buddy. Throw that Hamilton on there. Put that $10 bet on there, man. Put that $10 bet on there.
I think you should bet it. I just don't think it's going to hit, but I do think you should bet it.
Look, Jermaine, there's no losers in betting. There's only quitters. All right.
That's right. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. You know the disclaimer, buddy. You've been on the show. You know the drill. I also told them, give us your best 4-player prop parlay and we'll give you a shot to win some prizes on this too, because you have a better chance of winning this thing. And here's what he gave you. Here's what he gives us, everybody. Okay, at plus 1,700, we're going to go Christian McCaffrey for more than 100 yards combined, rushing and receiving. Matt Stafford to go over 300. That's a risky one. Shakir, 50-plus yards. Sure, why not? And Travion Henderson for over 1.5 catches. Listen, I don't hate this one. I honestly, I think Stafford's the biggest risk on there, right? In Chicago, weather might not be great. What do you think?
Stafford's my favorite play on that 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think McCaffrey's dead. Like, he hasn't done anything.
But it's combined, rushing and receiving.
He can't. I just don't. How is San Francisco going to move the ball? I'm not sure.
Christian McCaffrey.
Shakir is going to. Who's going to? Is Surtain going to take Shakir? Because if so, that's a no for me. So I like Stafford on that plus over 300. Look, the Bears' defense is garbage. Right?
It is. I just worry about the weather.
By the way, the Rams have scored like 30 to 31 points, and you take out the top 3 defenses, which are like the Eagles, the Texans. Like, they've scored at least 27 or 28, 11 of the remaining 14 games. The Rams are going to put up points on the Bears. The weather, I don't think is going to matter.
All right. I kind of like where your head's at with the Niners, though, Gabe. And not to spoil my pick coming up here, but look, we all thought the Eagles were going to rack them and roll them, and they wouldn't be able to do shit. And they bullied them around and won the game. So I don't know. Maybe McCaffrey gets loose. That's the thing about the McCaffrey one too, though, Andy. Like, you just need him to get loose on one, and you're halfway there. You know?
Yeah, you just got to get loose on one. I just kind of think, like, what, why wouldn't the Seahawks get on him? I just don't know. How many guys know there's going to be no Kittle. So, like, where are you focusing your efforts? Probably to McCaffrey. Yeah,
probably. Well, there's the 2 prop bets. We're going to get good luck to Jermaine on those this weekend, man. If you hit some of those, we're going to give you some prizes here from the show. And this week, me telling you not to play that $10 bet is our crimes against football, buddy. That's a crime against football. That's my fault, buddy. That's my fault. We got to fix that up another time. All right, let's get into some knock it out, and then let's get into knock it off, and then we'll roll into our big 6 picks this week.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Okay, story breaks today. The NCAA is petitioning government agencies that handle these type of things. There's an acronym somewhere for this. It's not FBI, but that handle the betting and things. The NCAA is petitioning the prediction market betting. So if you guys are familiar with that is, that's that call sheet that everybody does. Like, you can go on there and predict the weather. It's prediction, so it's not betting. I don't know how they get around this legally. I don't know how they get around this. It's available in all 50 states. They have all prop bets on there, and you can bet on the prediction market, I guess they call it. So it's not sports betting.
Right.
Listen, I'm not here to argue how they get around that legally. I am here to tell the NCAA.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
They're making a case that all these prop bets being on this Kalshi prediction market is unsafe for the game. It's tempting players to do things they shouldn't be doing. People approaching them. There's no oversight on these prediction sites as there is like with the gambling things and stuff. Get the fuck out of here. This has everything to do with the fact that the NCAA is in bed with these gambling sites. They're not in bed with this Kalshi group, and they're getting pressure from the gambling sites to try to get the fucking Kalshi group shut down. So money goes back to the sports. But I mean, am I off base here or what?
No, I think that's right. I think until whatever that Kalshi, I see it all the time. Until they get into bed with the NCAA is not going to like this.
Yeah, they're trying to shut them down because they don't want to get rid of prop bets. They're not trying to get the government to shut down the prop bets on the legal gambling sites because there's proper oversight there. Gabe, this is ridiculous, isn't it?
So wait a minute. So it's college athletes are allowed to bet on these prop
bets?
No.
College athletes are not allowed to do either of these, but they get around this place gets around gambling laws in states like, say, Georgia, where you're not allowed to do sports gambling.
California.
It's California. Yeah, okay, got it. So that's the story. Okay, then yeah, that's insane. I don't know. To me, it's still sports betting, and you're treating 100%. One completely different than the other. But they said their argument is because it's prediction based. Isn't that basically the definition of
that's the
like-
legal argument for them to be able to legally do it. The NCAA's problem here is that there's oversight on sports gambling from government agencies and whatever, and there's no oversight on these prediction markets.
barely.
What's the difference?
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
don't-
barely, but it's like, let's say, for instance, oh man, hold on. I get it.
No, he's dying. Not now.
Got me a little dust going in here. Excuse me, guys. Let's say what we were just talking about, the over-under for McCaffrey carries is 16. Well, we got to do college. Whatever. Just pick a college running back. His over-under is 5 carries on the call sheet, and it's 5 carries on, I don't know, MGM. What's the difference on what's getting bet there? How does that affect the player more one way or the other on people approaching him?
Right.
Andy, at all?
No, it doesn't. It's like it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I think you nailed it earlier. Like, until they can make some money, or so the NCAA can use this, it's like, if it's going to be, it's like live golf, whatever, you know, like the Kalishi. I don't even know how to say it. I see it all the time. I'm like, how do you say this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Until it can get involved with, you know, the PGA Tour, the NCAA football, like it's going to be the enemy for now.
Yeah. This is the NCAA saying, playing Tony Soprano. I'm not getting a taste. You're not picking up garbage in our neighborhood.
Right, for sure.
I mean, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, NCAA. Nobody's listening to that shit.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Okay, one more quick one for you guys here. Carson Beck, we're all familiar with Carson Beck. He's in his 7th year. He did have the major injury. Coming back, he gets a 7th year, and opposed to like other people who are getting it for COVID or JUCO or whatever the case is. I have no ill will against Carson Beck. Like, good for him. Good redemption story. Georgia blew him out the door. I just can't help every time I look at him. I just see those old cartoon characters from the old Warner Brothers Hollywood cartoons. Like, this is Carson Beck. This is Carson Beck right there. That's all I can see.
It's all eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah, this is him right here, isn't it? I mean, that's Carson Beck. Touchdown Miami.
Yeah.
Not a good looking guy. Sorry, Carson.
Yeah, man, I love you, Carson, but come on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I got to knock it off.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, everybody. This is it. The moment you've been waiting for. Let's get back into it. The Big Six Picks, playoff pick'em. Andy, your three-peat is in jeopardy. Let's explain to everybody why. But first, let's tell them, hey, it's the Big Six Picks, everybody. It's brought to you by the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast. That's Old English 800. And Gabe, I know while you were watching Indiana play football last weekend, you were helping yourself to a couple of these.
Brass monkey, that funky monkey, brass monkey chunky.
Yes, whenever Gabe is upset at the outcomes of the football games, he turns to his good friend, the Brass Monkey. A splash of orange juice and some Old English 800 can get you through a Hoosier champion.
Only thing that can get me through this CFP.
The only thing. Big time Purdue guy. All right, here's the standings after the first week. I give you credit. You did take Indiana all the way and to cover. You saw the bigger goal here is to win the contest. You're a good man for that. And out in front, Anthony Finelli, who is also, he's still on set directing a film, guys, but we have his picks. Here. They will be in. He scored 35 points the first weekend of the season here. That's a really good first week. And Gabe's right behind him at 33. Regardless of what me and Andy score, and I'm going to tell you it's bad. I'm going to give you the numbers. I'm going to embarrass ourselves. But that's hard to come back against 35 and 33, Andy. Do you remember somebody getting that far out ever?
No, it's a 2-man race. It's definitely a 2-man race. So
yeah. So I wound up with 15 points, and Andy wound up with 14 points. And I got to tell you, Andy, the only reason that I jumped 1 point ahead of you is because I got a 6 on the Houston game. I had 9 points going into the Houston game. Oof.
It was bad, man. It was just bad all around. It was like the Jags blew it, in my opinion. Green Bay blew it. Like the teams that I kind of blew it, in my opinion. So
yeah, I needed to place Jermaine's bet just to break even last weekend, I think.
Yeah, I was on the Steelers, which was definitely I felt like the right side for a half, and then in the third quarter, I'm like, well, this is the wrong side now.
No, I let all you guys talk me into the fucking Bolts. So anyway, let's get into it this weekend, man. Let's jump out of this first game, and it'll be the final game for college. Now, I will tell you this, Gabe. You and Anthony do have a chance to break the all-time record for the playoff pick'em here on the Big Six Picks, which is 56 total points. Will come with an asterisk, though, because we never had this many college playoff football games included in the contest. But you guys should shatter that this year, I think. Andy missed it by 1 point last year as the Chiefs made the Super Bowl, and he went all in on the Chiefs and took a 0. He was at 55, took a 0 in the Super Bowl. But much like you, Gabe, he loves his team, and he said, I'm going all in on my team. I don't care about that record. He could have just split it and took the 1 point for sure and tied. He didn't.
I don't think that record's going to matter. I think these guys are going to
shatter,
roll up to like 65.
It's going to be shattered. It's going to be shattered. So let's jump on this first game here, guys. Let's go with Anthony's pick on this first game. Who do you like here? And I'm not going to ask him who do you like. So I'm just going to show it. It's Indiana minus 8.5 against Miami in the college football playoff championship game. 47 is the over/under. And Anthony, Burt Rivers frozen in the 70s. He's going to be on IU all the way, minus 8.5 and the over. He's going to roll it for a second time. Gabe, you doing the same?
Yeah, 100%. I think all Purdue fans are accepting the fact that Indiana is going to win a national championship in basketball, and we're just hoping that whatever deity, whether it's God or Satan, will say, all right, we'll give them that, and Purdue men's basketball will win a championship.
Oh, you're right. You're saying IU will win in football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. IU's going to win it in football. Purdue, if that means, I'm okay with that happening so long as that means Purdue basketball, men's basketball gets a championship in April.
You're willing to trade your daughter for the 6 goats.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever deity is listening, I'm willing to sell my soul for that. As long as we get that, that'll numb the pain for.
All right. Well, buddy, I don't want to put any rain on your parade, but I smell a red wedding coming on that deal. Andy, who do you like? Who do you like in this thing, man?
You know who I'm like. I like Miami.
There it is.
Plus points, baby. Like Miami's in Miami. The Ohio State Miami game to me is the game, right? That is how Miami will stay in the game. Also, they beat Ohio State by double digits, like something Indiana didn't do. I just like the defense. I think it's going to travel. They're going to travel right to home. It's a home game. I get there's going to be like 70% Indiana fans out. They're going to sell that place out. But I like Miami to cover. I like the under. That's how Miami – this is how Miami stays in it. It's like – to me, it's like 24-20 style. Just because I got to take swings, I'm going to take Miami. Straight up.
Yeah, it's time to take swings when you're this far behind. But I've decided.
But I will say I like Miami of the number regardless. Even if I was in the lead, I'm still taking Miami.
Yeah. I am not. I'm going to roll with IU to win this thing. I'm going to take Miami on the spread. I'm going to take IU to win. And I'm with you, Andy. I'm going to be on the under here. I think this thing, finally is going to be a matchup that's supposed to be on a down. You know what I mean? I think this final score here, probably like 2017, 2014. So, yeah, I'm on the 8.5, but I think Indiana wins the game, and I like the under.
Should we say, Mike, for the listeners, the two guys that are way in the lead agreed on the exact same thing, and the two guys who are way behind basically agreed on the same thing? So please follow Anthony and Gabe. Leave Mikey and I, just leave us in the dust. Leave us in the dust.
One of us on this screen talked a kid out of $1,500 this weekend. So let's jump on the next one here. It's the Bills minus 1.5, first divisional round game. Bills minus 1.5 at Denver. The over-under here, 46. I'll go first here, guys, just to let you know I'm not piggybacking off other people's picks. I'm going to be on Denver here. I am going to be on Denver here. Everything says Buffalo could win this game, and they could. They very well could. I think everybody is so infatuated with that Houston defense right now that we've all forgotten about the Orange Crush defense this year. The whole talk seems to be, can Bo Nix and that offense score points? This Denver defense was more sacks than anybody in the league. Going to break the damn record for all time. I mean, this defense is legit. They're at home. I'm just not on board with this whole, Denver's a phony. People said that all year, and all they did was come back and win in the fourth quarter and get the number 1 seed. Give me Denver to win this thing. I don't think the Bills have enough on offense, and I'm going to take the over. What do you think, Gabe?
differently. I think differently than you. I think
Great.
I think
Again, I'm just before Gabe gives his picks. Everyone, listen to Gabe. Listen to Gabe.
I'm going Bills. I don't really believe. I damn near don't believe in bye weeks at this rate. It's too much time off. We see this in college football a lot? Too much time off is a problem. We've seen it in the pros. I'm taking the Bills. I think it'll be a low scoring affair because, to your point, their defense is phenomenal. They're really good. But I like the fact that the Bills are coming in. They just had to beat a good Jaguars defense as well. So I know that they can do it. And yeah, I mean, look, Mile High is a really tough place to play, but you take a week off. I think the Bills are coming in fresh, or at least battle tested, not fresh, battle tested. Yeah, give me the Bills.
And the under you were leaning toward there?
Yeah, I do think it's going to be a low scoring affair. I don't think 46 is going to be met. I think it'll be a defensive matchup. I think if the Bills just hold on to the ball, run out the clock, take time away from Bo Nix, yeah, go Bills.
All right, hey, maybe I'll be happy if the Bills win. Eliza Hayes, she'll be very excited if the Bills win. Friend of the show, Andy, what do you think is going to happen?
I love Denver here. So again, that's why I was like, listen to Gabe. I like Denver. I like Denver money line, and I think in these sort of games, I think there's a stat that Peyton is like 4-0 in these type of games, like just straight up. The dude just wins. This is basically a pick 'em. He wins these type of games. Look, last year the Bills and the Broncos played. If you remember, the Broncos had really no linebackers, and I think a couple linebackers got hurt. And the Bills won 31-7 last year in this game. So I think the Denver's defense is pretty healthy. I think Buffalo's wide receivers are pretty bad. I think Peyton's going to do what he does. I have this memory of in Saints playoffs game, the first half was always pretty low scoring. You'd be like Saints 10, Vikings 7 as we go to halftime. And then the points came. I'm not sure these two types of teams are going to make the points come, or at least I'm not sure the Broncos are. So I like the under a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of running. I think the Bills are going to run a lot. And I think the Broncos are going to run a lot. I think they're going to have big substitutions. Like Peyton always likes to substitute like 4 dudes at a time. And I always say it just eats clock. So I think you're going to have like 4 or 5 minute drives that end with a punt. I think you're going to have 6 or 7 minute drives into the field goal. I just think Denver finds a way and gets it done like 2017. I like the under. It's one of my
on the under. Yeah, that's kind of why I was on the over. Is a little bit opposite of what you said there, but with what you said there is like the points tend to come late, and I think it's going to be just like this Jags-Bills game last weekend, where Josh Allen's going to force you to score another time at the end of the game, and then he's going to get the ball back and he's going to score too. You saw that Jags game hit the over in the last 5 minutes, and it was like 20 points away from doing it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that maybe will happen again this weekend. Maybe not though. Denver a little better defense than the Jags. All right, let's jump to this next divisional game.
Who did Anthony take?
Yeah, we should see that, Louis. My goodness gracious. All right, where are we at? Anthony Finelli. Just so we know he's not cheating, right?
All right,
there we go. Hey, Anthony's on Bills all the way and the under. He's exactly the same pick as Gabe. That's why I know you were interested in that pick, Gabe. Fair enough. Come on.
Also, again, just keep following these guys. They're like,
yeah.
Keep following Gabe and Anthony.
You think so? I'm going to show Anthony's first this time, so I don't forget. The divisional round. Seattle Seahawks. They're the home team. They're the number 1 seed, -7.5 against the Niners at the big win in Philadelphia, but they're on the road again with divisional foe. Over under 45 here, and Anthony Finelli is going to. There we go. He likes Seattle to win it, but he's going to take San Francisco to cover with the touchdown and the hook and the under. Now, Gabe, are you the same? Are you deadlocked with him?
Yeah, this is getting creepy because I don't know this guy at all. And we're thinking the exact same way here because I do have Seattle winning. I do think the 49ers will cover, but I see it being under 45 as well. I think there's enough magic going on with the 49ers right now for them to keep games pretty interesting. And, they're heading into Seattle. That's obviously one of the most difficult places to play in the NFL, but they're battle tested against the Eagles. So we know that they can do it, especially against a good team. So, but I do think Seattle's going to win this one. I mean, that defense is crazy. If Sam Darnold can just be, competent, which he seems to be, I think they'll be fine. So,
yeah, no reason they should take a step back. Andy, what do you think?
Well, I love the under in this game. Like I said, the Niners have scored 20 points in 2 games against the Seahawks. I also think Shanahan's going to have to get a little creative on offense without Kittle. He's going to have to. I believe there'll be another trick play. I'm going to predict like a McCaffrey throw, something like that. Like it can't do Juwan Jennings. He did it last week. I think he's going to have to do those kind of games. I kind of think Seattle will ultimately just kind of choke out the Niners in a way where, they've done a good job. At least I feel like in the last month, they don't let Darnold ruin the game for them. They basically just run Charbonnet, and then they run the other running back whose name is escaping me right now, Kenneth Walker. They run those dudes. He dinks and dunks. So I like Seattle to win, and I actually think Seattle's going to cover. I think it's going to be similar to the game we saw a couple weeks ago. It's going to be like a late score for the cover to get 20-10 or something in that area to kind of put away the Niners. But I like the under. I like Seattle. I just think San Francisco's got to get super creative to stay in this game. I just don't know if they have enough dudes to do it. I do think if you're San Francisco, you want to stay close enough to force Darnold to make some plays. I think that's how the Gabe and Anthony's bet hits. Is you got to force Darnold to you got to get out early and force Darnold to start throwing. Don't let Seattle just run it and play defense, because then it's over. So, I'm sure when it comes to betting, I'll actually throw money on San Francisco because I can't resist the points. But I like Seattle, and I like
they found a way to do it to the Philly last week. You're not wrong about that. But once again, everybody, with the full disclaimer here, to listen to Gabe and Anthony, because I'm on the exact same pick as you, Andy. Seattle all the way. Just give me Seattle all the way and the under. I think they cover it. They proved they could do it in the past. I think the Niners are a little beat up. I'm not going to double down on a lot of the stuff you said. I just agree with a lot of it. And we'll see if they can, do what they did against the Eagles or not. I'm just not sure they're going to be able to do that. Now, that being said, we do have to play a disclaimer. If we are discussing gambling bets on any show here, we have to show a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Louis, do you have that disclaimer?
What advice do you have the kids not to gamble?
So with gambling, there's no such thing as losers. There's winners and quitters. So you just got to keep going and just keep. And you got to phone a friend and you borrow money. You borrow from your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and just friends. And then there's no such thing as losing. It's a winning sport.
There it is.
Thank you.
Just do that. We'll do the next game. Okay, divisional round. Patriots -3 versus the Texans. -41.5. The Red Hot Texans. Everybody loves them. Gabe, who do you like here?
Although they don't deserve it, because I wish nothing positive for this team at the moment because of how they beat the Colts in Indianapolis in the regular season. Give me the Texans on this one, because I think that defense is going to be too much for that offensive line in New England. They just proved to me that they can play in weather, because they played in, Pittsburgh in that temperature and that tough environment.
Yeah.
But I think the Texans are actually I think it'll be the under. That's what I think is going to happen, because the Texans are in New England for this one as the one. Patriots are the 1 seed. So, but give me the Texans.
Okay. Well, Anthony Finelli is going to be a little different than you here. You're going to have a chance.
Finally, here we go.
He's taking the Texans and the points as well, but he's on the over. He's going to be on the over here. For some reason, he thinks there's going to be some points here. Listen, I learned my lesson last week when I jumped on the Bolts because May's a rookie and that team's not ready. And then I saw New England play the exact style of football they played all year long, regardless who they played. They play their game. That's how they're going to play it. So this thing's going to come down to a defensive battle. Both these teams, very good defenses. And I'll tell you, I'm not sold on Stroud. I mean, you look at that final score of the Pittsburgh game. We just talked about it earlier because 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, that game was 7-6 going into the fourth quarter, guys. I don't know that Houston and C.J. Stroud can put enough points up to beat New England. So I'm going to be on the Pats all the way and the under. What about you, Andy?
Oh, boy. Hard game. Look, this is what the Texans do, in my opinion. They win the first round. They always lose in the second round. So Nico Collins is going to miss the game with the concussion, I believe, which is not that big a deal. It's a big deal, but like they do have enough receivers to move along. I think the real issue is if Gonzalez for the Pats misses the game, but I believe he's going to play. But if he does miss, then I may jump over Texans. Right? I like the Pats. I don't know. I get that Texans are hard to run on, but so are the Pats. I don't think they've given up a guy to rush over like 58 yards all year. Like Woody Marks, give me the under on whatever his rushing stats are this week. So I'm going to ride with the Pats, and I'm going to ride with the under. I think similar to the game we saw with the Chargers, it's like it's going to get out of hand there at the end. It's like 20-10, 20-3, like something like that. So again, I like the under here. So
All right, Pats and the under. All right, Patriots and the under for my man. I am also going to have Patriots in the under, so maybe we can score some points there. These guys both on the Texans. Maybe that's our chance there, Andy. I don't know that we'll really have one anyway. All right, let's jump on this last.
Again, these guys is them versus us. So, like, just choose the side. You just follow Gabe and Anthony. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Anthony, if we're right this week, we just take over your podcast because you guys clearly don't deserve a sports podcast with how incorrect you've been.
I'm going to have to clear that with the top brass, but it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. If you check scores 2 touchdowns and you guys mop us up again, I think I'm out of a job.
It's possible.
All right, let's jump on this last divisional round game here. Rams -3.5 at the Bears. 48.5 is the over under here. Listen, I'll jump on this one first. I called Bears pumpkin. We're going to turn back into pumpkin last week. That was going to be the end of it. The horseshoe is done. And then Green Bay just gives it right to them at the end of the game, just throws up all over themselves. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. So it's going to be this week. The Rams are just too good. I like the Rams to go in there and beat Chicago. Give me the Rams all the way. Give me the over. High-scoring affair. Let's see what Anthony has to say about this one. He's a big Rams guy. His good buddy that he played with in college is the tight ends coach out there. He's on Rams all the way, -3.5, and the over. Gabe, are you different?
This is the hardest game, I think, to actually pick because I have no idea with Chicago. I picked the Packers to beat them, and I was really looking comfortable with that selection until I wasn't. So to me, this could go either way. I think I had something on my notepad here, but I'm changing it the more I think about it. I am going to go Rams, and I'll take the over with that. I don't think – look, I get it. It's going to be a tough place to play. It's going to be cold, but at the end of the day, they're professional football players that get paid to do this and are pretty tough individuals. The Rams, are going to be fine. Thinking about that other LA team. The Rams are going to be fine. I've got a cousin that's rooting for the Rams, so it'll be fun to root for the Rams together. And yeah, give me the over. I think the Bears could at least keep pace. So, yeah.
All right, man. Hey, that puts you in a place where the most important game for you this weekend is Patriots-Texans. That is the only difference you and Anthony have on your bingo cards this weekend is over-under. So you have a chance to gain 2 on him, to gain 2 points here to tie him. You could wind up tied at the end of this week. Well, you could wind up with more than that. But anyway, Andy, who do you like?
I like the over in this game. I know the cold, and a lot of people are telling you to take the under, but then you got like Stafford played in Detroit, Puka Nakua's from Utah,
Fine.
Devontae Adams played at Green Bay. Like these guys are pretty used to it, right?
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned with the over or the under, only because like the Rams generally, like I would bet also like Rams team total over like 27.5, 26.5, whatever that number is. I think it's over that, I just think the Rams have typically this year when they go on the road, they just putting up like almost 30 a game. So with the over under, what is it at? 50, 51, something like that?
Yeah. 48.5. 48.5.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm doing Rams and taking the over. I think I think the Bears will at least put up a really good fight. I kind of like watching Caleb Williams play. So
he's great. He's been great. He's been incredible. I like the Bears though. I'm taking the Bears. Like, look, everybody's just, it's one of those years, one of those teams where everybody's like, they're going to turn into a pumpkin every week. And I'm like, no, Ben Johnson does better at second half adjustments than about any coach in the National Football League. Every week it's the same thing. Every week he changes it up. He's got great plays. Dude is really good at coaching offensive football. He's going to be ready. He's going to be ready to play the Rams. I also think the Rams have been bad, and I think the Rams' biggest weakness in I've watched more Rams games than I like to admit is they can be passed on. Like the Rams secondary is bad. It is bad. So when they play these teams that can pass, that's how they get in trouble. Like Bryce Young, you watch that game, he looks like you're like, oh, this guy's going to be like a 15-year NFL starter. No, he only looks that way because the Rams secondary is so bad. So I just think what we'll find is that Caleb's going to they're going to pass more. I love, but I also do believe, by the way, the Rams are going to score on the Bears pretty easily. Like I do. The Bears defense is that bad. So if you could get like a Corum anytime touchdown, like 2-1, I would do it. But I'd also do a Loveland 2-1. I would also do a Swift 2-1. Like I would just play some guys to score some touchdowns. Kyron. So I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears. I'm going to go Bears over. I just think they find a way.
Bears all the way in the over. Hey, chance to
I
get
love
some
McVay.
points.
I love McVay, but like, doesn't it? To me, it feels like this is the game the Rams blow. They've just been bad the last month and a half.
Well, I think there's only room for one pumpkin, and it's got to be Denver or the Bears this weekend, and I'm going to go with the Bears. Pumpkin in Chicago. That's what I'm going with. Man.
I'm saying neither. I think we're getting 1-2, 1-2.
Well, it's all pretty girls at the dance for you.
I think so.
Well, I love it, man. Hey, listen, that's the big six picks for this week. We're going to see how it goes, how it continues. Hopefully we can catch up a little bit. Gabe, thank you for being here again, brother. Appreciate your time. Always appreciate having you on the show, man. Good insight, everything like that. You want to plug a couple of your shows? Where are you going to be this weekend?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to be in Conyers, Georgia tonight at the Outpost. Show starts at 8 o'clock. I got 2 shows in Augusta, Georgia tomorrow, January 16th at 7:30 and 9:30. And then I'm going to be in Marietta, Georgia on the 23rd at the Alley Stage at 8 o'clock. And then in Columbus, Georgia on the 24th.
Yeah, if you guys are unfamiliar with Georgia, it's a big fucking state, and that's a lot of miles, bro. Those cities are far apart.
Yep, earning my gas money with these gigs.
Holy shit, man. You're like an old school wrestler right now, man. You're 2,000 miles in one state for 5 shows.
100%. But yeah, Mikey and Andy, thanks again for having me, man. I love being on this podcast.
Hey, love it, man. Love it, man. We'll see how the score goes, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.
We cutting loops.
College football is now B1G versus SEC. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money. Ready? All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. What were you saying, Andy? Cut you off there.
I was saying, Gabe, take it easy on us, man. Don't stop destroying us.
Never.
Yeah.
If you like it, get better.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, get better. I love it.
put it on a shirt. If you don't like it, get better.
We cutting loops.